I am Spencer Jackson. I am a freelance graphic designer by day. I do contract work, and I also am a digital and I guess somewhat traditional artist as well in my free time. I wish I could have more time to do more of my art. Well, I have a background in art. Like, I studied in London to do illustration, and it was always something I enjoyed doing, but I sort of put it to one side as I felt that there was just too much competition for me in London. It just kind of seemed overwhelming. And then once I moved to Vancouver, I found that passion again, that excitement to want to make my art. And originally, I thought I would just use my art skills to do more like branding work, which I failed at terribly. I don't actually know how to name or like class my art. I think it's somewhat surreal. Some people class it as like neo-pop art. But for me, it's just my way of expressing myself and some of the questions that I have about my own life and about some of my fears. I look at my art and I think it's quite a loose narrative, quite open interpretation. I have a print of this. This one's called Learning How to Be Gentle. This is part of a series. This is one of three other pieces that I'm gonna have available. I only have this one available now. I'm really pleased with this. This is probably like one of my largest compositions to date. For the most part, I made art for a long time just for myself. I had sketchbooks, I had digital drawings that I would just share with my friends. And I was somewhat encouraged to not pursue that, as it didn't seem to be financially a good choice. So I went with not the safer choice, but I guess the one that seemed to have a clearer route to do graphic design, which I also do love. The desire to keep making art never really went away, so I kind of wanted to find a way to make both things work for me. And that's probably where I am now. I keep my graphic design and illustration quite separate, but I use the kind of sensibilities and some of the methodology from graphic design about like compositions, scale, trying to establish a level of information hierarchy to some degree into my art. I've done a few shows here in Vancouver. I've also exhibited my art in New York recently, and they took some of that art to Lisbon, Portugal. I was able to go to the one in New York, but not the one in Portugal. It's a little bit far away. I still think the Vancouver art scene is quite new to a certain degree. There's still a place to make your mark here, as it is a relatively small space. And I found that encouraging. That made me want to participate and be more involved in it. I still aim to see my art on like a larger scale here, be part of what is being displayed here in Vancouver. So I have this beauty right here. I like getting into the small details, just getting into the tattoo pieces of it. Yeah, I really enjoyed just trying to find all the color combinations of that. So that's gonna be available. Yeah, and of course I'll have some like stickers available, some slaps for people that'll be going cheaper, and then I have the originals that I'll be selling on display. I'm like this. These will be here as well. If I find time, which I should do, I'm going to be making a few more because these are part of a series, so I'll have a few more of them available by the time the show comes around as well. It will all be very bright. It's all going to be, there's going to be rich colours there, and it will be somewhat dark in its content as well.